Joe Gainsborough here. I'm super excited to share with you the creative process behind working with Ivar Wigan, an amazing photographer, on an editorial fashion film for Heroine Magazine. If you're not familiar with Ivar's work, I strongly encourage you to check it out. His unique blend of documentary, fashion, and surrealist sensibilities is truly breathtaking. I was blown away when I saw his exhibition, The Gods, which was shot on the fringes of the decaying cities of the American Deep South. Since that exhibition, I've been a massive fan of his work, and was super excited to get the opportunity to work with him. The editorial piece was made for Heroine, a women's luxury biannual magazine covering film, fashion, current events, music and art. So let's discuss the techniques we use and the visual language of the film. The opportunity. So here's the crazy part. I got a super last minute call asking if I was available the next day, so I grabbed my gear and I headed down to the location. This experience really highlighted why it's so important to always be ready to go, ready to jump onto any opportunity that presents itself to you. You never know when something amazing might come your way. So, what are some of the key advantages to always being ready to take on an opportunity? Agility. Being ready to jump onto opportunities allows for quick and agile decision making. This agility is crucial in dynamic environments where circumstances can change rapidly. Competitive edge. Those who are always ready to seize opportunities are often ahead of the competition. They can capitalize on trends and gaps in the market, gaining a competitive edge. Adaptability. Ready individuals are more adaptable. They can adjust their strategies and plans swiftly, minimizing the impact of unexpected challenges and taking advantage of unforeseen opportunities. Networking. Jumping onto new opportunities can often lead to meeting new people. Networking provides valuable connections and information that can open doors to new possibilities. Personal growth. Embracing new opportunities often involves stepping out of one's comfort zone, leading to personal and professional growth. Continuous learning and development become inherent in the pursuit of opportunities. Adopting a mindset that is always ready to take on new opportunities cultivates a positive outlook. This positivity can inspire others and contribute to a constructive and proactive work environment. The collaboration. Ivar had this fascinating concept for the photos and film. Picture this: Chun Jin, our model, portrayed as being trapped in the metaverse, yearning to break free from its digital confines. It was a great experience because although Ivar had some specific shots in mind, there was also a lot of room to experiment with different ideas and techniques. So, how can we as creatives and filmmakers improve from collaboration? Synergy of expertise. Collaboration allows for professions from various fields such as fashion design, cinematography, music and editing to combine their expertise. This synergy results in a holistic approach, ensuring each element of the fashion film is executed at the highest level. Inspiration and cross-pollination. Creative collaboration sparks inspiration through the cross-pollination of ideas. Fashion designers may draw inspiration from cinematography and vice versa, leading to a more dynamic and multi-dimensional final product. Enhanced creativity. Creative collaboration acknowledges and celebrates the unique talents of individual team members. It creates an environment where individuals can showcase their skills, contributing to a collective masterpiece that highlights the strengths of everyone involved. Diverse perspectives. Creative collaboration in fashion films brings together individuals from diverse backgrounds, leading to innovative and unique concepts that may not have emerged in isolation. Continuous learning. Collaborating with other individuals in the fashion film industry fosters a culture of continuous learning. Exposure to different perspectives, techniques, and creative processes provides valuable insights, pushing individuals to expand their skills and stay at the forefront of industry trends. If you would like some help in developing your creative ideas for fashion films, or you'd like to learn how to make a creative deck to pitch your ideas to clients, then you can download my free creative deck template. It has been designed with drag and drop functionality, so it's super easy for you to add in your own references. It has been written with step-by-step instructions telling you exactly what you need to write so that you're able to fully form your ideas and communicate them clearly to collaborators and clients. Collaborating closely with Ivar, our aim was to let the intriguing architecture take center stage of the composition. The strategy involved using locked-off shots where the camera remains static throughout, allowing the visual elements within the frame to naturally guide the viewer's attention. We decided to go for a very photographic approach, and keeping the camera static created a very timeless and classic feel. The stillness of each frame served as a deliberate nod to the elegance of classic cinematography. To enhance the film's visual impact, we opted for a wide Loawa 12mm lens. This wide-angle perspective not only captured the expansive details of the location, but also contributed to the creation of an immersive and epic atmosphere. The magic of the 12mm lens lies in its ability to capture a wider perspective. As a result, it provides the audience with a sense of spatial depth, almost as if they are physically present in the environment depicted on screen. The lens becomes a window through which the audience not only observes, but also immerse themselves in the world we created. So, what are some key considerations that filmmakers should make when they're deciding on their compositions? Balance. Ensure a harmonious distribution of elements within the frame to create an equilibrium and avoid any sense of imbalance. Hierarchy. Establish a clear visual hierarchy to guide the viewer's attention, emphasizing essential elements and creating a visual structured flow. Rule of thirds. Utilize the rule of thirds by dividing the frame into 3x3 sections and placing key elements along these lines or at their intersections for a visually pleasing composition. Symmetry and asymmetry. Choose between symmetrical or asymmetrical compositions to achieve the desired mood. Symmetry can convey order and stability, whilst asymmetry provides dynamism and interest. Leading lines. Incorporate leading lines to guide the viewer's attention through the frame, creating a sense of movement and drawing attention to focal points. Frame within a frame. Explore using natural or constructed frames to add depth within the image. This can be used to draw attention to a central subject. Scale and proportion. Consider the scale and proportion of elements within the frame to convey a sense of depth and dimension. Negative space. Mindfully use negative space to enhance the composition, allowing the viewer to focus on the main subject and creating a sense of simplicity or isolation. Lens choice effect. Selecting between wide angle and telephoto significantly influences the composition and storytelling within cinematography. Wide angle lenses, with their expansive view, enhance depth and spatial relationships, while telephoto lenses compress the scene, bringing distant subjects closer and emphasizing details with a narrower field of view. The choice between these lenses is a creative decision that shapes the visual narrative and emotional impact of the image. Embrace the spirit of experimentation in cinematography by exploring unconventional compositional techniques. Studying and understanding current composition trends allows filmmakers to push creative boundaries, discover new visual languages, and contribute to the evolution of storytelling through innovative cinematic techniques. The cloning effect. Ivar wanted to play with the idea of cloning the model, making multiple versions of her. As the director of photography for this shoot, I collaborated with Ivar to bring his vision to life. We achieved this by setting the camera in a locked-off position and positioning the model in different parts of the image, so we could composite different images together into one shot where we could see multiple versions of her. The multiple versions of Chun Jin weren't just visual effects. They were embodiments of the complex interplay between the authentic and the simulated, the tangible and the elusive. To create this technique, we had one locked-off shot and filmed the model in different positions. I then cut her out using a technique called rotoscoping, and then layered the multiple versions on top of each other. Rotoscoping is a technique used in filmmaking where artists trace over live action footage frame by frame to make masks, animate, or they use it for special effects. It's a very time-consuming process, but incredibly powerful in creating seamless special effects. To put this very simply, essentially we cut the model out as though she was a piece of paper and then lay her on top of another piece of paper like a collage. So I was able to cut out the model from the video and place her on top of another layer of video, creating this clone effect where there's 2 or 3 models in one frame. To make the cloning effect more manageable, we ensured that the model didn't cross paths unless absolutely necessary. For the more complex scenes, where Chun Jin crossed paths with herself, I used Davinci Resolve's Magic Mask Effect, an AI tool that massively speeds up the task of rotoscoping. These AI visual effects tools are very exciting because they speed up the process and allow filmmakers to do more in less time, leaving room for more experimentation and adapting reality. Mise-en-scene augmentation. Mise-en-scene refers to the arrangement of elements within a frame in filmmaking and theatre. It encompasses the composition of a scene, including elements such as location, lighting, props, costume, and actor's position, all working together to convey the desired atmosphere, mood, and storytelling within a film or theatrical production. To enhance the overall look of the film and add an element of surrealism, I used compositing techniques in post-production. This involved removing unwanted elements from the background, including shop signs, people, and details that didn't fit the aesthetic we were going for. I did this by taking a clean plate of the background. A plate, in VFX terms, is a recording of the shot without any actors in it and no movement at all. I then moved the plate into Photoshop, where I was able to use the generative fill feature. Then it's going to require some complex rotoscoping around the model. So if you don't have the time to do a ton of workload, then I suggest only manipulating parts of the frame that don't have any movement. This way, you'll be able to composite it very simply without too much work. I then took this background plate back into Davinci Resolve and then placed it underneath the rotoscope cutout of the model. This technique can be really fun and actually very simple to do if you use a locked off static camera. It's very possible to do this technique with the camera moving, but it's much more complex, so it's likely you'll have to work with a VFX studio to do anything like that. Crafting an effective mise-en-scene is paramount in the art of visual storytelling, as it shapes the aesthetic and emotional impact of each frame. The careful arrangement of elements within the frame, such as set design, lighting, costumes, props, and actors' positions, allows filmmakers and visual artists to control the visual narrative. A well-crafted mise-en-scene not only adds depth and authenticity to a narrative, but also serves as a powerful tool to convey themes, emotions, and storytelling nuances. It transforms each frame into a canvas where the visual language becomes an integral part of the storytelling process, capturing the audience's attention and enhancing the overall cinematic experience. Dreamy effect. Ivar wanted to avoid a clinical and sharp look, so I added a radial blur effect in post-production to give the film a dreamy atmosphere. This subtle touch contributed to the overall tone and vibe of the piece. It gives the edges of the frame a blurriness that feels similar to the edges of a vintage lens, whilst the centre of the image stays fairly sharp. So, what are other techniques that filmmakers use to add softness to their images? Diffusion filters. Filmmakers often use diffusion filters, which are optical filters that are designed to scatter light and soften the image. These filters reduce sharpness and create a subtle, dreamlike quality in the visual. So, you can experiment with different types of diffusion filters that will have different kinds of effects on the image. Vaseline on the lens. Applying Vaseline directly to the lens adds a softness to the image by diffusing the light and also affecting the optical image quality. Vintage lenses. Using older lenses with inherent optical characteristics, such as lower contrast and unique flares, can introduce a natural softness to the image. Vintage lenses often possess distinct optical qualities that differ from modern, clinically sharp lenses. They can also possess different characteristics, such as a warped field of view, softness around the edges of the lens, and often the background out of focus elements can have a very different quality to what we expect to see in modern lenses. Glow effects in post-production. Filmmakers can add a soft glow to their images during post-production using various software tools. This digital approach allows for precise control of the softness level and can be adjusted to fit the desired aesthetic. Stockings or nets. Attaching stockings or nets directly to the front of the lens can create a softening effect. This technique introduces a delicate, veiled look to the visual, reminiscent of older cinematic styles. This technique was often used in classic black and white films. Lens flares and halos. Purposefully incorporating lens flares and halos can contribute to a softening of the overall image. These optical artifacts can add a subtle glow to the image, or can create a very dramatic effect that enhances the aesthetic of the scene. And there you have it. I hope you enjoyed a look into the creative behind-the-scenes process of this fashion film with Ivar Wigan. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more content. If you have any questions about the process, please do leave a message in the comments below. Until next time, stay creative, stay inspired, and I'll see you in the next video.